Welcome to the Intuitive Therapist Podcast with Janis R. Cohen, therapist, clairvoyant, empath, and medium. Listen in as she takes a no-nonsense deep dive into real human struggles and how to resolve them. Janis will share channeled information from her spirit guide team, as well as the angels and archangels, to help you master your emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual destiny. And now, Janis R. Cohen.
Hey y'all, this is Janis Cohen, the Intuitive Therapist here on the Intuitive Therapist Podcast. I recently met somebody new, a wonderful woman, through social media, and as it turns out, I already know her. Let me explain. You know how you meet someone for the first time and you feel like you've known them for eternity? Well, that was what happened when I connected with this woman. She was my new old friend. And while we are close to about 1,000 miles apart, it seems as if we live right next door to each other. There are a few women over the years that have truly inspired me, not only because of their accomplishments, but because of their wisdom and ability to inspire others, and this woman is one of them. She is a true powerhouse. The title of this episode is taken from one of her posts on social media, and I decided to elaborate on it. I don't know about you, but I can count many times in my life where I felt like I was in quicksand because I couldn't find clarity. And the more I forced myself to find it, the harder it got to get it. So when we try to force clarity, it becomes more elusive. Why? Because clarity doesn't come when we apply pressure to it. Clarity comes when we allow it to come. When we get out of our own way and let it show up. Sure, it's easy to get swept up in overwhelm, anxiety, and frustration and call it a day, but our feelings never ask us to just accept them. Rather, they call upon us to explore them, to understand them, and to use them properly for our benefit. I speak all the time, and have certainly on this podcast, about how feelings aren't just meant to be felt. They're meant to be used. Feelings are clues about what is going on in your life, about how you're doing relative to your goals, and how well you're living in the present moment. And it may seem like your feelings creep up on you, but they really don't. Sometimes, well, a lot of times, our feelings stack up on each other and they layer up before we know it. And then we're experiencing a full-blown feeling at a volume that we are never comfortable with or that we welcome into our lives. Our feelings are always showing up and giving us clues that they're there, to be noticed, to be felt, to be heard. The problem is that most people, well, the majority of people, just do the feeling of them without dealing with them. Does this make sense? Look, as a seasoned therapist of 30 years, one thing I know is that to be effective in helping somebody get out of an unhelpful feeling state, I need to help them identify and understand their feeling state. Now, don't confuse this with all the therapists out there who have their clients process the shit out of their feelings session after session after session. That, my friends, is the work of the therapist who doesn't know what they're doing. And the client is wasting precious time, energy, and money going back for years of therapy with that kind of approach, the process to death approach. You don't need to do that in order to become a better version of yourself. What you do need to do is learn how to explore what you feel in a way that gives you answers, options, and opportunities to grow, not processing feelings to death and being re-traumatized over and over and over again. That's the whole point of this episode, to teach you a new way of thinking and perceiving your emotions so that you can use them, not be consumed whole by them. In a previous episode called Who's at Your Emotional Table, this was many months back, which I highly suggest you listen to if you haven't already, I talk about welcoming your feelings into your space as if they are your best friends, having them sit down with you and give you their messages. Today's message piggybacks on that episode because there is nothing more powerful that you can do than to become the investigator of your feelings. To really look at, not just feel them, and ask them what their positive intention is for you. Ask them why they're here. Yeah, I mean, talking to your feelings. What do you need to know? What do they want you to know? What thoughts and beliefs are triggered from these feelings that cause you to feel this way? Distress, anxiety, worry, sadness, fear. What are those thoughts and beliefs that are triggered from those feelings? And like I said, all feelings are here to help you understand yourself, how you're showing up in your world, how to become a better person, how to become a more well-rounded version of who you are. We think that what we feel is the truth, and that's kind of the end of it, right? We believe that all of our thoughts, we believe all of our thoughts and then form beliefs around those thoughts, and they kind of play on replay, right? And then we believe those as if they're true. What a sham our ego is. But it sure is powerful, isn't it? No, our feelings are just indicators of how we are doing in life, where we are in life, most specifically, where our focus in life is. When you begin to dig into your feelings with curiosity, not animosity, you begin to notice the thoughts you have and the beliefs you hold and the fears you have. You also notice the hopes you carry that are steeped in doubt and faithlessness. That is how powerful honoring your feelings is. You get to find out all of that and then use it to become a happier person. Our feelings aren't our enemies. They are our allies, even though it doesn't often feel like that. They are our soul's way of letting us know how we're doing in this human existence. They let us know what patterns we practice, how valued we consider ourselves, and they show us how deserving we are of the good things. So, I invite you not to loathe your feelings. I invite you to put on your investigator hat and be curious. Ask your feelings for their messages, their advice, and their guidance because they are so freaking wise. Feelings are our soul's way of speaking to us when we're coasting through life not paying attention. When you take a good look at your feelings, why you're feeling them, and the message they have for you, you will realize that 100% of the time, those beliefs that you have about whatever it is in your life that isn't going how you want it to go, those beliefs are not true. You realize that more often than not, your thoughts are distorted, and you're practicing patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving that just don't serve you and get you where you want to go. When you define what you're feeling, when you write down your thoughts, and you identify the beliefs you hold, in other words, get them out of your head and onto paper or on the computer, then you are far more equipped to find resolve. You regain the power you once lost from sinking into the quicksand of simply just feeling the feelings. And then you give yourself the amazing opportunity to think new thoughts, practice new feelings, and turn your tests into testimonies. You see, God, Source, Spirit, however you want to refer to the higher power that you believe in, it doesn't want any of us to suffer. Source wants us to prosper, to find our power in our intention and choices, and to learn from life, not suffer at the hands of it. To push yourself to examine your feelings more closely for their messages and insights, that's what Source wants us to do. So give yourself the permission to notice where you've distorted thoughts and beliefs, where you have them, when you have them, and then be intentional about changing those unhelpful ones to helpful ones. Change your focus. And as Wayne Dyer said, If you change how you see things, the things you see change. So, Sherlock Holmes, get to work. Put that spectacle on and get closer to your feelings. You just may discover something amazing that you never knew existed within you. I wish you a wonderful day, a blessed week, and as always, live intuitively.
Thanks for listening to The Intuitive Therapist. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend. And be sure to give us some stars and a favorable review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in.